What if I told you that the most important thing to plant in your garden isn't a vegetable or a flower? What if it's the rain itself? Today, we're going to dig into this powerful, totally game-changing idea of water harvesting.
I mean, just let that sink in for a second. This is a huge shift in thinking. Instead of seeing rain as this nuisance we have to drain away as fast as possible, this idea just flips that whole script on its head. It asks us to see rainwater as this incredibly precious resource we can actually cultivate and store. It's the foundation for everything else to thrive.
So why is this so critical? Well, because managing water isn't just one part of a healthy system. It's pretty much the very first step. It's all about designing things that work with nature, not fighting against it, to create real abundance. Before we can even think about growing food, we have to grow our landscape's ability to hold water.
To really get how to plant the water, we kind of have to zoom out and see the bigger picture. And that's where watersheds come in. A watershed is simply the area of land where all the water flows to one common point, like a river or a lake. You can almost think of it as nature's own plumbing system. And what's so cool about this is how it shows that we are all connected by water. That rain that's falling on your roof, the water running down your driveway, it's all part of this huge interconnected system. Your backyard isn't some isolated island. It's a small but really vital piece of a much, much larger watershed.
So this entire approach, it's all guided by one of the most fundamental principles in permaculture: catch and store energy. And believe me, free water falling from the sky, that is a massive source of energy. The goal here is to capture that energy in the form of rainwater and store it right there in the landscape, kind of like charging a battery so we can use it when we need it the most.
Seriously, take a second and think about it. The next time it rains, watch what happens. Does all that water just rush off your property and straight into a storm drain? Or does it stick around for a bit? Just understanding that flow is the very first step in redesigning your own space to become a water-capturing oasis. Okay, so how do we actually do this? Well, the first and most direct method is to catch the water right where it falls. And let's start with the biggest collection surface most of us have, our roofs.
Honestly, it can be this simple. By just redirecting the downspouts from your gutters into a rain barrel or maybe a larger tank, you can capture and store an incredible amount of pure, high-quality, chemical-free water. Your plants are going to love it. It builds instant resilience into your system. And this number right here, this just brilliantly illustrates the potential. For every single inch of rain that falls, you can collect about 0.6 gallons of water for every square foot of your roof. Go ahead, do the math for your own house. It adds up so fast and just goes to show how much free water we typically just let wash away.
All right, so we've caught the water coming off the roof. Awesome. But what about all the water that hits the ground? Instead of just letting it run off, our goal is to slow it down, spread it out, and really encourage it to sink deep into the soil. Let's see how we can do that with some simple earthworks. And a swale is one of the absolute best tools for this. The easiest way to think of it is like a long, level speed bump for water. It's really just a shallow ditch that follows the natural curve of your land. Its only job is to stop that runoff in its tracks, giving the water time to soak into the soil, recharge the groundwater right under your feet, and passively water your plants. So here's the crucial difference: runoff versus infiltration. With runoff, that water is basically a lost resource. It drains away and it can even cause erosion. But when we design for infiltration, that exact same water gets banked in the soil. It creates this underground reservoir that builds a deeply resilient landscape. Okay, the final piece of the puzzle here is to make our water work twice. This is where recycling gray water comes in. We can turn what's normally a waste stream into another valuable resource and basically double the efficiency of our whole water system. So what are we talking about here? We're talking about the gently used water from our showers, our bathroom sinks, and our washing machines. This gray water, as long as you're using plant-friendly soaps, is totally perfect for irrigating things like fruit trees, shrubs, and other ornamental plants. And hey, to make that recycled water go even further, we can pair it with a simple drip irrigation system. This technique is amazing because it puts the water exactly where the roots need it most without wasting a single drop to evaporation. It is all about making every single drop count. So when you start combining these strategies, you're catching water from the sky, you're slowing it on the ground, and you're recycling it from your home, you really do fundamentally shift your landscape from one of scarcity to one of genuine abundance. Let's take a look at the impact.
This right here, this is the ultimate goal. By actively planting the water, we create this deep, living soil sponge. It's like an underground reservoir that holds moisture long after the rain has stopped, and it nourishes these robust, healthy root systems that can handle drought and just truly thrive.
And you know, this foundation, it supports everything else. It doesn't matter if you're aiming for a small patio garden or a huge multi-layered, productive food forest that acts like a natural ecosystem. It all starts with smart water design. Water is the key that unlocks abundance, really at any scale.
So, I'll just leave you with this question. Have you ever tried catching rainwater at your house? What's maybe one small step you could take to start planting the rain right where you live? I'd love to hear about it, so let me know in the comments.